I'm Charlotte Black. I'm from Blanding, Utah, and I'm definitely against the monument for many reasons. And some of the main ones are we raised our family here in Blanding, and if you look at the demographics of the area, we're not a wealthy county, and many of us haven't been able to travel to exotic places to take our kids to Disneyland and so forth. And so when our children were younger, our main type of recreation was to get in an old 1946 Jeep, pile it up with kids, sleeping bags, Dutch ovens, and a guitar, and head for the hills and the canyons. And some of our most memorable times have been spent doing that as a family. And I, as a grandmother of quite a few grandchildren, I would like to see them be able to participate in these same type of activities. For example, there would be times when the spring would come and we'd go out with the Jeep, and there'd be a closed sign on a road that we'd gone on many times. For example, one is the Wagon Wheel Road that went originally from here to Monticello, and another one out by the Arch Canyon. There's a road that goes around Texas Flat, and that was the original road that went from Blanding up on the Elk Mountain. We went out there one time and it was closed, and with Kenny and his cows, there was a trail down into Rogers, and he went out there one spring and it had been closed. He couldn't even go down there and service his pond down there. And so I look at it as, you know the story of the frog. If you throw him in hot water, he'll jump out, but if you gradually turn up the heat, he'll stay there and die. And I feel like the bureaucrats and people in Washington are gradually turning up the heat on us, just these little bits at a time, and taking away some of the freedoms of going to your favorite camping spot up on the mountain and so forth. And that's been a difficult thing for me. And then to see Kenny with the cows, his livelihood, and as a mother of a child that depends on Cedar Mesa and the Bears Ears for his livelihood. And they say, oh, you'll be able to keep your cows. But that's the same thing. Every year it will be the regulations will be increased, the opportunities will be decreased. And we know that that's what happened over with Staircase of the Escalante with the ranchers. And there's many facets that I'm concerned about. Another one is the school lands. President Obama said, well, we'll give you other school lands, but they wouldn't benefit San Juan County. And Kenny, for example, pays to have his cows graze on the school land, which goes directly to our schools. And so, and another thing that, in conclusion, I think one of the main things that I'm concerned about is that we're being controlled by people in Washington and the bureaucrats. They can sit at their desk and say, you can't go here, you can't go here. And the voice of the people is not heard. And I think sometimes the environmentalists and so forth think that we're a bunch of uneducated morons that we're not capable of making an intelligent decision in regards to the land we love. And our opinion is that we have to take care of it if we're going to enjoy it from generation to generation.